best teams. Hayes, these are the two best teams. And there were other very good teams. North Carolina was a very good team that Alabama found a way to beat them. There was other very good teams. Houston was a great defensive team that lost their best player in the game. And so there are other good teams. But I would say these are the two best teams. I would say these are the marquee teams. Matt Painter's been in it forever. Danny Hurley has risen as this great coach from the Hurley family, obviously. So I would say it is that. So it'll be fun to watch. College basketball has changed so much. The portal's going crazy. Nobody knows their teams anymore, which is one of the reasons guys like John Calipari, who were so good at doing it the old way, are now not quite as successful. But it's going to be fun to watch. All right, other stories in basketball. We told you about the Caitlin Clark thing. Women's basketball. Now that Caitlin Clark is out, do people pay attention, or do they go back to just sort of paying attention?
Sort of paying attention.
That's what I think, too. Unless there's another story because she was such a story. And South Carolina was such a story. But I think the same thing. It was a wonderful run for them, but I think people go back to sort of paying attention. Other basketball story. Walter Clayton today, the Florida guard, has announced that he is going to make himself available for the NBA draft for now, which means he's going to go through all the testing and evaluation process. He will not enter the portal. He has made it very clear that he is going to make himself available for the NBA, and if they are not interested, then he will go back to Florida. Where does that land?
I think he goes back to Florida, and now you're in a day and age where Walter Clayton can be paid, through NIL. So I would imagine that Florida, he's the top priority for Todd Golden. So whatever NIL money Todd Golden has at his disposal, I would imagine the lion's share of that money is going to go to Walter Clayton. And you hope that you can sweeten it enough that he wants to play one more year for Florida. And that's where I think it's going to go. Because I just don't think he's – I don't think at best, I think he's like a late second-round pick in the NBA.
Yeah, I think he's going to go back to Florida. I think there's a myriad of reasons. Number one, he really liked it there. He grew up a Gator fan and wanted to play there in the worst way. That's the only reason. With all due respect to Todd Golden would tell you this. He didn't pick me over Rick Pitino. He picked playing for Florida over Rick Pitino. And Todd, I've heard Golden say that to his credit. And it was everything from people I talked to that know him. It was everything he hoped it would be. He had a kid while it was all going on. He loved living there. And whatever money he's going to make playing pro ball, and I agree with you, he could make it in the league, but I see if he wants to play, he probably plays in Europe. I don't know that I see that doesn't mean he can't be at the end of a roster. He could have one of the two-way contracts, right? JJ, that's kind of all the rage now, right? The two-way contracts, isn't that what a lot of these guys are doing?
Like G League players,
yeah.
Or yeah.
Well, you're both. You're kind of signed by both.
Exactly.
The minor league and the NBA team, and it's a two-way contract, so you get to, like Colin Castleton and Alex Fudge were both on a two-way contract, so they got a cup of coffee. I think at best that's what Clayton will have. But to your point, Hayes, this is the last chance he's got to make NIL money. So, and that could be significant. And after that, he can't, and that's guaranteed money. And he's going to get that if he comes. I don't know what's he get. What a couple $100,000?
That's what I would think.
I mean,
at the minimum,
I would say $200,000-300,000 for Walter Clayton.
See, Gator fans are interesting because it seems like, and I'm not faulting them for this, but it seems like Florida fans have not at all embraced the NIL world. Right. Like even Gator fans that I know, like financially could do it, they just don't like the idea of it, so they don't do it. Part of that though is I think hesitancy of it being an inducement to come to Florida.
Yeah.
I think there's more of a acceptance of I'm willing to give if it's a player that's given me some good times,
right?
Which
right.
Walter Clayton has done. So I would think for Todd Golden, it will be easier for him to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I need X to keep Walter here." So I would think it's $200,000, but it might be more. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you told me Walter Clayton gets $500,000 to play basketball at Florida next year.
We'll learn more about that Friday. By the Friday, we'll be in Gainesville at Spurrier's.
Yeah,
and I think Freddie Weeby and some of the folks from Florida Victorious who are sponsoring our remote down there will tell us more about that. So we'll learn more. But I bet he goes back as well. Take a break. I need headlines, Carlyon.
Let's
you got
do
any? You have any?
Got plenty. We're going to go fast.
Do you bring them up in your briefcase, did you?
Yeah, get ready.
You
This
have
is
a big briefcase. You're a briefcase guy, right?
I've got to have my briefcase. I've got it handcuffed to my wrist.
I know you do. It's valuable, those headlines.
Yeah, we're down like 6 points with 27 seconds to play. We got to go about 68 yards here.
You're telling me no huddle?
We're going quick.
I knew it was good. I didn't know it was a no huddle headline.
We're going to have like 5 plays as we break the huddle, and we're just going. That's it.
Hays headlines, you don't want to miss it. They're next. Stay with us. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Jaguars and Gators, pro, college, and high school sports.
Wow.
Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL, Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
Want to play golf and help raise some money for scholarships at the same time? Join the Clay County Gator Club at their 24th annual scholarship golf tournament presented by Walker Footings, Sunday, April 21st. To register, go to claygators.com.
After a storm passes, the assessment of the aftermath begins. Sometimes damage to the roof is obvious, like leaks or missing shingles, broken or damaged gutters, or tree debris. But storm damage is not always as clearly present. Universal Roofing Contracting is here to help and will come assess your roof for any hidden damage. Call Universal Roof to schedule your free roof inspection at 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
With over 60 years of dedicated service, Big Chief Tire has earned Jacksonville's trust by providing stress-free service at fair prices. Frank Frangie here. Whether you drive an electric vehicle or a traditional car, Big Chief carries the best tire brands for lasting quality. Their skilled technicians will install them quickly and have you back on the road in no time. Visit BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment at one of those 5 Jacksonville locations. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. If you're still in the hunt for a sports book to call home, bet the nonstop action of the madness with MyBookie. MyBookie is a one-stop shop for all your sports betting and casino needs, complete with a real-life Vegas experience right from the comfort of your phone. Take your viewing experience to the next level with real-time betting that lets you stream and bet the games right from the MyBookie website. Sign up now and take advantage of a generous welcome bonus on your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. And the fun doesn't stop there. You'll get up-to-the-minute odds, props, and this week's expert predictions to help you decide who to put your money on. The best part about MyBookie, you can bet on anything, anytime, from anywhere. Use promo code 1010XL to secure your welcome bonus today, only with MyBookie. Again, that promo code, 1010XL.
Roland, 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 we're all calling Roland. The toilet's overflowing, oh my.
When hairballs, grease, and goo just won't let that water through, you need Roland Reich Plumbing by your side. When you have got a leak and you just can't wait a week, call 260-7059. Roland Reich Plumbing.
He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe you got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
Hey, Glenn here with B&B Oil. Do you have equipment that needs fuel? We can service any size event from a small wedding with a generator in a tight spot to large construction sites with multiple pieces of large equipment. We deliver all types of fuel and lubricants. We also have fuel tanks from 200 gallons to 2,000 gallons, and we can get larger if needed. So give us a call today or find us online at bb-oil.com. bb-oil.com.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home this week at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Tomorrow is 70s night, followed by a noonday game on ViStar Good Is Everywhere Wednesday. The weekend starts with Coors Light Thursday and fireworks Friday and Saturday. Baseball all weekend with tickets starting at just $5. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable, family fun.
AgPro Sign and Drive event is offering 0% for 84 months with no money down on a John Deere compact utility tractor with loader. Limited time offer. Visit your local AgPro dealer today. Offer ends April 30th, 2024. Subject to approved credit. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
This is Hays Carlyon for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332, go to flyskylife.com, and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
We certainly appreciate our good friends at Harold & Harold. Again, give them a call at 251-1111. It's so exciting to have them as the studio sponsor and such great people.
I'm not selling for less than I deserve. I deserve headlines. Okay, that's what I deserve.
Yeah.
If the whole Harold's listening right now, I need headlines. I need them now.
Well, let's go. Let's do it. Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie, JJ LaSelva. I'm Hays Carlyon. Let's get right into it. All right, Frank, the national title is tonight. UConn a 6.5-point favorite. Are you taking the Huskies and giving the 6.5?
I would give the points. I don't think it's coming down to the wire. I think it'll be a good game, but I think they're going to cover it. I think they're the most balanced team since that Florida team that went back-to-back, which is why they could be the first team since that group to go back-to-back. They are totally balanced. 5 starters in double figures. They're big. They're agile. They're big at the wing spots. Great teams tend to be. I think UConn's very good. I think they're going to win.
South Carolina becomes the 10th undefeated team in women's history. Owned the glass, 51-29.
What a great coach Dawn Staley is. I said this at the top. Women's coaches have real reputations of being charismatic, and their teams win and win and win and win. Gina Auriemma, the late Pat Summitt, so many others. She's a good coach, man. She also was a great player at Virginia, but she is a really, really good coach at South Carolina. Good for South Carolina to be on top of the world on something, because South Carolina doesn't get to be on top of the world very often.
Yeah, no doubt about it. She's been amazing. All right, we talked about John Calipari going to Arkansas. Frank, you think it'll be Scott Drew going from Baylor to Kentucky?
Yeah, I think Scott Drew. You said Nate Oates. I think you and I have kind of gone through a list that those two guys, Billy Donovan, Danny Hurley will get a call. That's probably the list. But yeah, Scott Drew is at Baylor. He's been there 20 years. He's got a national championship. He's got Final Fours. He's really good. But Hazy comes from a basketball family. Homer Drew, his dad, was the volleyball coach forever. Bryce Drew made the long shot in the NCAA tournament, and now is the coach at Grand Canyon. When your family is basketball royalty and Kentucky calls, you're gone, and I think it'll be Scott Drew.
Let's get it to the NFL draft. Texas defensive tackle T'Vondre Sweat arrested for DWI. Now, Sweat, he's a very charismatic kid. We saw him at the Combine. He was great at the podium, a lot of fun, and was asked a lot about his weight. The weight's been a concern because he's 366 pounds is what he's listed at, and many believe that he's played heavier at times. He was a projected early second rounder before this news, so be interesting to see how much, if at all, Sweat drops in the draft. Tiger Woods aiming for history with his 24th consecutive Masters cut, so hopefully he'll be able to do it. Looks good so far, but it's early in the week.
Yeah, I don't know that Tiger can affect the Masters. Also, I didn't think he could a few years ago when he won it. But I think just the fact that we're talking about Tiger, we're going to talk to Bob Herrick at the bottom of the hour, who's written books about him. But just the fact that he's in play, Hayes, let me tell you the beauty of this conversation. We're having it.
Right.
We're not having a Tiger announced 2 weeks ago he can't play. We're having a Tiger conversation. That's the beauty of this. It really is.
Bad news for the Atlanta Braves. Spencer Strider might be lost to a UCL injury. The 25-year-old Strider is 32-10 with the Braves, with 495 strikeouts and 329 innings.
Let me say this, and I hate that because these are really good pitchers. Those really hard. This bunk we're hearing now, that all of a sudden it's about the pitch clock. It has nothing to do with the pitch clock. Every pitcher's blowing their arm now because all anybody cares about is developing velocity. We've got 14-year-olds throwing 90 miles an hour. Well, your body's not supposed to do that. Your body is supposed to mature. Your UCL matures when you're 26 years old, not when you're 17, and that's why everybody's blowing their arms. I hate it for Spencer Strider, but it has nothing to do with the pitch clock.
Steven Strasburg retired at 35. The 2019 World Series MVP was a three-time All-Star, won 113 games with a 3.24 ERA for the Nationals.
Was never worth all that money he got, but when you win a ring, you win a ring, and they don't win a ring without him. So if I'm a Nationals fan, and I don't know if there are any Nationals fans, but if there's one or two, they ought to be glad. It's hard to win a title. They don't win a title without Strasburg.
Getting to the college ranks, the Gators were swept at lowly Missouri for the first time ever. It dropped UF from 6th to 24th in the rankings.
Yeah, they got problems. You knew they had pitching problems, but they could out-hit their trouble. They couldn't hit in this thing. They had 2-hit or 3-hit on Friday night. I watched that game. And Hays, they lost 3 one-run games. When you're losing one-run games, that means not only are you not hitting, you're not getting the big hit. When you lose 3 one-run games, it's about, did you get the big hit? Look, they're not very good. FSU's going to beat them again tomorrow and sweep them for the series, for the season. So, hey, you're entitled to be bad every now and then. They just went to the final series a year ago, but it's not a great Gator baseball team.
Yeah, it looks that way. Florida State, UNF, and JU all took 2 out of 3, won their series over the weekend, so good job to all those schools. All right, JJ, let me hear some WrestleMania.
Choke slam! Undertaker's back in WrestleMania! Cody with another crossroads! Is he gonna do it? Can he do it? Is this the Rhodes moment? Come on, Cody! Crossroads! Cover! Finished the story!
Well done. Cody Rhodes ends Roman Reigns' historic title run of over 1,300 days as champion. It was an incredible finale. The Rock comes out, Seth Rollins, John Cena, The Undertaker shows up at the very end to thwart The Rock, and just a fantastic conclusion. It's funny, Cody's father, the legendary Dusty Rhodes, never won the world title in WWE. So very cool to see Cody do it. The attendance for the 2-night event at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia was over 145,000 people.
I didn't know much about that, but can I tell you the Dusty Rhodes, since you mentioned him, his best weapon? Sofa tuck of the bionic elbow.
That's right.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's great.
JJ, I do a very good Dusty Rhodes. Okay?
I see.
Dusty Rhodes and a helicopter. Those are my 2 things I got.
I didn't realize that kid was his dad.
Yeah,
Right
that's his dad. Getting to the boss, Bruce Springsteen performed a 3.5-hour concert at the LA Forum over the weekend, 40 minutes longer than his usual set.
And I didn't know that, but most of his sets now, most of his shows, I've seen him 14 times. They're 2.5 or 3. So for him to go even longer at age 70, whatever,
it's unbelievable.
Pretty amazing. I'm telling you, it's the most, and I'm a fan, so I'm totally biased. As far as a get up and you're exhausted when it's over, it's the most wonderfully exhausting show you'll ever see.
Variety has an unbelievable review of the show, so if you're inclined, go.
I will.
Yeah, go find the story on Variety's Twitter account. All right, JJ, it's time to embrace an American cultural classic, please, sir.
Top of the 6th, and rookie sensation Ricky Vaughn on the pitch now. You can close the book on Kelder. Oh, thank God. Vaughn, a juvenile delinquent in the offseason in his Major League debut. Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
That's tremendous.
It's so
and
good.
you picked the perfect bite, JJ.
Well done.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit
tried
outside.
The corner and missed.
Major League was released 35 years ago on Sunday, celebrating its 35th anniversary. My goodness, time flies. France can have the Louvre. Italy can have the Sistine Chapel.
Right.
In my view, this American treasure, beats them all.
I will tell you this. I was thinking about this because I saw it too, and I had a hunch it was going to make the headlines today. And listen, baseball is known for its epic movies. The Natural and Bull Durham more recently. Bang the Drum Slowly. Obviously the Lou Gehrig story. There have been
Moneyball, 61.
Yeah, correct. So many magnificently, highly acclaimed baseball movies.
Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Field of Dreams. For Field of Dreams, maybe head of the list. You're right about that, JJ. Of all of them, this one never gets acclaimed like those. It might be better than all of them. And I'm telling you, no movies get talked about like baseball movies do. It might be my favorite all-time movie. Honest to God, it might be my favorite all-time movie. I watch it so much. I'm glad you mentioned it.
Yeah, it reminded me of that fun event we had for walk-off when we watched Major League.
We had the movie night. It was outstanding.
That was very cool. All right, on this date 50 years ago, JJ, help us out.
Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7:15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
You know, if only I knew somebody who does an impression of him.
There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron. I do a great Milo. Okay?
Well done.
And I remember that as a kid, and it was really amazing. It was. I remember that call more than the Vin Scully call. I thought it was amazing. What an amazing moment growing up as a baseball fan in Jacksonville, and golly, I'm glad you pulled. That was awesome.
Yeah, 50 years. Hard to believe on that one. And the eclipse has come and gone, and hopefully everybody kept their eyesight.
Did you watch it? Did you get the glasses?
You know, JJ actually, as I was walking in, was kind enough to let me see a peek of it. It was great.
Yeah, I had not watched it. I went for a long walk and made sure not to look up today. And then when I got here, JJ and Stacy, one of our salespeople, were out there looking. So it was kind of cool.
It was.
I really didn't, and I didn't know what it was going to look like. It was cool.
Our buddy O'Halloran up in Buffalo texted us. He was sort of in the path of the totality. So he sent us a video, and it's literally like it goes from like day to night in a span of about a minute. It's pretty wild.
All right.
That's it.
That's all we got. Survived.
Great Hays headlines. They're always brought to you by the law firm of Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. And I got the headlines that I deserved. Well done. 1 hour to go in the program. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
No, 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
I don't like your style, your politics, or your sense of humor.
Mornings.
I don't like what you say or how you say it.
I think you're bluffing.
On 1010XL.
Folks, you tired of shopping those online dealers that overpromise and underdeliver? Are you ready to sell or looking for a deal? Well, you can find your next used vehicle at Nimnick Buick GMC with Car Bravo. A better way to shop used vehicles online with transparent pricing. With Car Bravo, Nimnick Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford, all makes, all models. And buying a certified used vehicle has never felt better. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be named the #1 Car Bravo dealer in the Southeast region and top 10 in the country. That's one more reason to head to Nimnick for all your automotive needs. They got a great selection, hundreds of used cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from. So head to Nimnick today and buy a car with Car Bravo. That's Nimnick Buick GMC. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
Pickett here. The Borland Groover Foundation proudly presents the annual March to Get Screened 5K race and 1 mile fun run. Sunday, April 14th. The race starts at 7 a.m. under the Fuller Warren Bridge. Their mission, raise awareness about colorectal cancer and related deaths. All proceeds benefit the Borland Groover Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon. GrooverFoundation.com for more.
Some say it's the greatest golf tournament in Jacksonville, the Coastal Equipment Guggen Open.
I'm giving you a standing ovation.
April 15th at Hidden Hills Golf Club. Enjoy a Chick-fil-A breakfast and a Dandy Foods lunch. Score a hole-in-one and you could win $500 cash from Lucas Honda.
What do you think? I'm impressed.
You could also win a Bernie Grill from Stonecore.
Thanks to our sponsors,
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and 3D Digital.
Listen to the drill for your way in on 1010XL.
I can do
The
that.
flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Attention poker enthusiasts, get ready for unbeatable action at Best Bet with locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. On April 19th and 20th, dive into the excitement with $1,500 high hands every 30 minutes. And save the date for April 27th because it's 24 karat gold day at Best Bet Jacksonville, where we're dealing out $24,000 in prize.
Thanks to Awaken 180, and it was awesome. Well, why was it awesome? Well, he thanked me for introducing him to Awaken 180. So I'm not only able to watch him have that same transformation that I had, but I know I had a bit part in helping someone make a 180 with their life, and it inspired me to continue sharing mine. From Matt Hays to Hacker and hundreds of listeners, every story is uniquely inspiring. If you have questions, feel free to ask me about Awaken 180. I'm happy to answer all of them, and just maybe you will be the next Awaken 180 success story. Call Awaken 180 today at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or schedule your consultation online at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. This offseason, Billy Napier and the Gators acquired Jacksonville native Grayson Pump Howard in the transfer portal from South Carolina. On Saturday, Napier was asked about the impact of the former Jackson Tigers linebacker.
Pup's an incredible young man, right? I mean, he's extremely bright. He's got character. He's smart, communicate. He's really done a nice job of picking up the system. Now, he's got height and length. He certainly looks the part, and he's taking advantage of the reps.
Billy Napier on Gators linebacker Grayson Pump Howard out of Jacksonville. It's 76 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We sure thank our friends from the Best Bet. $1,500 high hands are every 30 minutes at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine. That's April 19th and 20th from noon till midnight. Great things always happening with our friends at the Best Bet. Have a big time. Head out to the Best Bet. Frangie and Carlyon, JJ LaSelva with you. I want to make a quick point. I said this during the headlines. I want to reemphasize what I said a minute ago. Because you brought up the Spencer. Great job on those headlines, by the way.
Thank you.
You brought up the Spencer Strider thing. And JJ, I know you're a big Braves fan, and nothing hurts worse than he's a really good pitcher, and all of a sudden down for a year or whatever. I mean, we've all been through it.
And we were just talking about the Braves like, hey, as long as their two older pitchers can stay healthy, not even thinking about him.
And look, anytime
it happens.
And it does. Anytime, I mean, the Pirates drafted this guy Skeens, who's going to be all the rage from LSU. He throws 100. They got another guy, Jared Jones, that's hitting 100 now in their rotation. But you worry every day that you're going to hear the elbow. He's down for he's going to miss a start because of elbow soreness. Well, I'll tell you what that means. Okay, anytime you hear forearm or elbow,
you'll see him in a year and a half.
That's exactly right. Anytime you hear forearm or elbow, you see him in a year and a half. Well, but the problem's not the pitch clock. The problem's not. Remember when Tyler Glasnow last year said the problem was they don't let you put grip on the ball, they don't let you doctor the ball. The problem is somewhere along the line, we started with travel baseball or whatever, teaching our kids to throw as hard as they can throw every pitch they throw. Your arm is not built to do that. Your arm is full maturity. Dr. James Andrews talked at length about this. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
And he talked at length about it, and he made the point. He said your arm is not at full maturity until you're 26 years old. Well, if that's the case, then you shouldn't be trying to do this. This is Dr. I'm going to quote Dr. James Andrews, okay? Quote, I started following the injury patterns and injury rates in the year 2000. Back in those days, I did about 8 or 9 Tommy Johns per year in high school aged and younger. The larger majority of Tommy Johns were at the major league level, then the minor league level, then the college level, and just a handful of high school kids. In today's situation, the whole thing is flip-flopped. The largest number is in youth baseball.
Wow.
They've surpassed what's being done in the major leagues, and that's a terrible situation. This is Dr. James Andrews, who's the most prominent surgeon in the world for Tommy John. Quote, more Andrews, quote, these kids are throwing 90 miles per hour their junior year of high school. The ligament itself cannot withstand that kind of force. We've learned in our research lab that baseball is a developmental sport. The Tommy John ligament matures at about age 26. In high school, the red line where forces go beyond the tensile properties of the ligament is about 80 miles per hour. So a high school kid should never throw, based on the development of his arm, a high school kid should never throw over 80. They're throwing 95.
Right.
And again, the reason, Hays, you've done a show with me for 6-7 years now. You know how passionate I am about this. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep having our pitchers blow their elbows every freaking time they throw hard. We're too caught up in velocity. It's more strikeouts. It's also made the game worse because there's nothing in play. There's home runs and strikeouts, so I'm glad Dr. James Andrews finally spoke up.
What would be the solution to this?
Well, you have to I don't know
An entire culture change.
A culture change for sure, and the culture change would have to be
at the kids' level, like
correct.
High school level, middle school.
Right. Teach sliders, teach change-ups. Change-up for sure because there's not a twist there. Sliders are like curveballs. They also tense to your elbow. But I've heard more doctors and people in the know say it's not the breaking pitch that is causing the elbow injuries. It's the increased desire for velocity. Yeah, hey, JJ, you're right. It changed the culture. Don't try and throw 1,000 miles per hour, but that's what the scouts want to see because that bird dog scout for the Orioles is watching you, and he's going to call his real scout, his area scout, and say, hey, I just saw Smith. He hit 91. He's only a junior in Sandalwood. We got to watch him. Let's start watching him. He's now a watch guy. He's a draft and watch guy. Well, that's what happens. I don't know how you change it. I mean, how do you not try to perform as well as you can? But we're ruining these kids' arms. We really are.
No one pitches to contact. Sorry to cut you off, but it's like nobody tries to pitch for a guy to hit a soft ground ball to first. Well, it's always about the strikeout.
And when we have this discussion, it always comes back to, would Greg Maddux get a chance to pitch in today's Major League Baseball?
Yeah,
and he probably wouldn't.
And here's the reality of that. Maddux, because he was so good, might, but your point's exactly right. The nibbler, the guy who changes speeds and locates, but throws 89, probably has no chance. Now, by the time you're in your 30s and they expect you not to throw as hard and you've proven your worth, and then you can move balls in and out, then at that point you have a chance. But by and large, no. By and large, he wouldn't have a chance. Everybody wants velo is all anybody cares about. And by the way, I can live with if the game became nothing but strikeouts and home runs, strikeouts and big swings, launch angle, and I'm fine with that. I've not been one that says we're ruining the game, but if we keep destroying kids' elbows, I'm not fine with that, and that's what we're doing.
I don't know how you fix it other than Major League Baseball and the NCAA and the governing body of youth baseball says that we're going to have a velocity limit. But I just don't know how that'd be from a competitive standpoint, it'd be the equivalent of saying to a football team, you can't have anybody that runs faster than a 4.5. And if they run faster than a 4.5, they've got to run at a 4.5 clip.
Right, because it's not – see, that's the thing. You don't change – I can tell you this. When I grew up playing baseball, and then I was coaching when I was 17. When I was – my buddy Glenn Dowdy and I wanted to coach a team when we were 17 because I'd helped out when I was in high school playing. And we actually went to the San Souci Baseball Association, went to the city and said, listen, we've got these two guys that are really good coaches, but they're seniors in high school and they're only 17. Will you let them coach? And they had to get this adult approval, and they let us coach. So I started coaching my own team when I was 17, and I coached for 17 years. You know that. I've coached forever. And before I started, got a real job. And but we were always taught, and I had all the ages, at 11 and 12, you never let a kid throw a curveball. When you could never throw a curveball until you could throw a straight change, which was back then we weren't throwing circle changes. It was just a palm ball, really. But until you were 13 years old. Well, that's changed because if you watch the the Little League World Series on TV, those kids are breaking them off, aren't they? So, so I don't know how you fix it. But it's I don't have a lot of pet peeves, but it's one of my pet peeves, and I hope we get it under. I really do hope we get it under control. I think it's a problem, and we're blowing elbows left and right, and the arm was. And I'm glad Dr. James Andrews spoke up, because who knows better, right? I mean, if there's one guy that understands the gig, it's Dr. James Andrews, and I'm glad that he did that. So
Shane Bieber was the other one this weekend that, him and Spencer Strider both went down for the year, and that's what really got people like, well, we have to blame somebody. We have to blame something, and unfortunately, the newest thing is the pitch clock.
That's exactly right. We're going to take an early break here. Normally we break a little later, but we got Bob Herrick at the bottom of the hour, and I need about 10 minutes to shout. So 641-1010 is the number to call, 641-1010. That's the number to call. We want to know what you think about who's going to win tonight. Who do you want to see win tonight? What have you thought about the NCAA basketball tournament? Someone's walking away with a T-shirt, Carlyon, and a nice T-shirt. Let's take a break. Your turn to shout after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Join the 1010XL Podcast Network.
Okay, excellent show, everyone.
Excellent. Now you can find all your favorite 1010XL podcasts in your platform of choice.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make, and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is, and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Is your AC system showing signs of wear and tear? Get ahead of your AC system replacement before the summer with JTM Comfort Services. Nothing worse than coming home on a hot summer afternoon to find your AC stopped working. Right now, get a special rebate on the purchase and installation of an 18 to 20 SEER Bosch heat pump system. Financing now available on qualified repairs and replacements.
Your comfort is our name. Call my dad to keep you in the game.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. If you're still in the hunt for a sports book to call home, bet the nonstop action of the madness with MyBookie. MyBookie is a one-stop shop for all your sports betting and casino needs, complete with a real-life Vegas experience right from the comfort of your phone. Take your viewing experience to the next level with real-time live betting that lets you stream and bet the games right from the MyBookie website. Sign up now and take advantage of a generous welcome bonus on your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. And the fun doesn't stop there. You'll get up-to-the-minute odds, props, and this week's expert predictions to help you decide who to put your money on. The best part about MyBookie, you can bet on anything, anytime, from anywhere. Use promo code 1010XL to secure your welcome bonus today, only with MyBookie.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Frank Frangie here. Bono's Pit Barbecue is celebrating 75 years of serving up legendary barbecue in Jacksonville. And to celebrate, they've brought the old-fashioned basket back for a limited time, and it's better than ever. The classic open-faced barbecue pork sandwich served on Bono's signature bread, topped with crispy French fries, and your choice of sauce is just $7.50. It's sure to fill you up with flavor and memories. The limited-time offer starts on March 4th. So get your old-fashioned basket for $7.50 today, and if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
St. Augustine, live local radio for Jacksonville. 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Are you thinking about upgrading your outdoor space with turf? Well, you'll love working with Caleb at Sunshine Turf. Genuine, always on time and trustworthy. Frank Frangie here. Look, we had Sunshine Turf design and install turf at the Bragan Baseball Complex. Man, it's gorgeous and it's maintenance-free. From putting greens to practice areas for kids' sports to pet runs to surrounding your pool, there's endless possibilities at Sunshine. So visit sunshineturf.info or give Caleb a call today at 904-892-0580 for Sunshine Turf.
Exciting news from All Pro Roofing. Effective right now, you can get an instant roof quote. Just click the Instant Roof Quote tab on their website. Whether you're in need of roofing, exterior siding, or windows, All Pro Roofing is your local partner for quality craftsmanship. Click the Instant Roof tab and voila! Get an instant quote. It's that simple. Click on the Instant Roof Quote tab today at allproroofingllc.com.
License number CCC 1327056.
CBC 060138.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make that happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com at 904-999-1508. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
You know you make me wanna
Time to shout. Woo! Looking for the best shouter of the day. But you have to do it in 20 seconds, so let's shout.
All right, who should Kentucky hire? How would you feel if they hired Billy Donovan? Who's going to win tonight? I need hoops talk. I need some hoops right now. Who should Kentucky hire? I'm giving away a T-shirt to somebody, Carlyon. Okay, right now phones are pretty open, so if you ever wanted to win an easy T-shirt, 641-1010 is the number to call.
There's only 5 people that own that T-shirt.
In the world.
In the world.
5 people in the world so far. You could be the 6th person in the world to get one of these T-shirts.
It's kind of like being in the Illuminati.
But you've got to do it in 20 seconds. Again, 641-1010 if you want to try and win a T-shirt. Tell us who you think Kentucky should hire. We kind of handicapped the race earlier, Hays. You think it's going to be Nate Oates. I think it's going to be Scott Drew. Billy Donovan is in play. Danny Hurley will be in play. Again, I keep wondering, is there going to be a surprise candidate? You don't think so?
I wouldn't think, because I think the pool is so deep with great, again, to me, Nate Oates is that. I mean, assuming Hurley doesn't want it, and I don't think he will, but I think Nate Oates would. I mean, I think he'd be fantastic for Kentucky. He already knows the league.
I do too.
Plays a great brand. Obviously gets talent. Was able to get talent to Alabama, so stands to reason he'll basically get anybody he wants to Kentucky.
All right, let's go right to the phones. Glenn is up first. Glenn, you got 20 seconds. Go.
Hey, the coach for Kentucky has to be either Billy G or Billy Donovan, or bring back Pitino. People hold hard feelings against Pitino because he went to the pros, come back, went to Louisville, but the man can still coach. Billy Donovan, if he's got it in his gut and wants to come back to the college game, Kentucky's the place to do it. It's where he started his coaching with Pitino.
Well done, Glenn. Nice work, and you got it in 20 seconds.
Well, very nice.
Glenn's off and running. Let's go to Jason. Jason, who should Kentucky hire and why?
I'm going Billy Donovan as well. I'm a big Bulls fan and love what he's been doing in Chicago, but I think that his heart might be still with college, and he might be able to go either next season again if UConn can't pull it off tonight.
All right, so 2 for Bill. Thank you, Jason. Well done. That is 2 now for Billy Donovan. Interesting stuff.
We're going to bill Kentucky for being like a search firm here,
yes,
right?
we are.
Okay, good.
You got 20 seconds to try and win a T-shirt. Clay, you're up next. Hey, Clay.
I'm going out of the box. I'm hiring Rex Chapman. Kentucky legend, had a lot of issues. A lot of these kids have issues. It's a one-and-done league. Who kids are going to want to go play for Rex Chapman? Can teach them a lot, and it's Rex Chapman. I think it'd be a fantastic hire. And that's my take.
I love it, Clay. You know what? That's out of the box thinking.
Big time.
He's become, by the way, a Twitter star, Rex Chapman.
He has.
He's become
Absolutely.
a media star. So, all right. So, yeah, we got a couple more minutes for you here. We got a couple. Just hang up. We got a couple. We're going to squeeze in 2 or 3 more of these. We're going to go quickly now because we got Bob Herrig at the bottom of the hour. But if you right now want to tell me who you think Kentucky should hire, Glenn, Jason, Clay. Glenn and Jason both said Billy Donovan. I still want to say what I said before. I don't want them to hire Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. All right. Let's go back to the phones now. They're loading up here. Mike, you're up next. Mike, you got 20 seconds. Who should they hire and why?
I think to go after Hurley from Connecticut because he's done what he needs to do up there. And as far as the game is concerned, Matt, Charlie from Matt was a thing everybody looked forward to, and nothing ever happened. And I think that's what tonight's game's going to be like. It's going to be boring.
Mike, I'm sorry I had a bad phone. I liked where you were headed with that, but you had a little bad connection. Darren up next. Darren, go ahead. 20 seconds.
Hey, yeah, I think they ought to hire Billy, but not Billy, our Billy. I think they ought to hire Billy Napier and screw up Kentucky's basketball program for the next 5 years.
Thanks, Darren. Appreciate the call. Darren might have gone to the front of those Hays Carlyon list.
I like it.
For sure. Well done.
Coach, you've got 7 guys on the floor.
Oh, that's rough but funny. Dion, you're up next. Dion, you got 20 seconds. Go. All right. Well, Dion didn't need those 20 seconds. Let's do, you want to do one more?
Sure.
Let's squeeze in one more. We got one more waiting for us. I think that's another Mike. Mike, you're the last caller. Mike, who should Kentucky hire and why?
From the beautiful North Georgia mountains, I'm going to weigh my vote in for Don DeVoe. We're going to bring back Don DeVoe, anyone but Billy Donovan.
Okay, very good. Mike, thank you for the call. All right, well done. A number of callers weighed in. We had to go quickly with you because we're going to talk some golf in a minute. Here's what I will promise. After Bob Herrig, we're going to name a winner. Somebody is getting a T-shirt. Somebody had the best shout of the day. Let's get it back to golf, though, after the break. Bob Herrig does a terrific job. One of the great golf authors out there. Has written 2 books about Tiger. He'll talk the Masters, Tiger, and a whole lot more. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update, brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Masters getting underway Thursday at Augusta National, golf's first major of the season. Scotty Scheffler, the 2022 champion, who also won this year at Bay Hill and at TPC Sawgrass, is the betting favorite at plus 400. Rory McIlroy, who has never won a green jacket, needs it to complete the career Grand Slam, is plus 1,000. John Rahm, the defending champion, is at plus 1,200. Xander Schauffele plus 1,400 to win this week. Brooks Koepka, five-time major winner but has never donned a green jacket, is at plus 1,800 to win his first Masters. This update brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
At Duck Duck Rooter, we understand plumbing issues can be a real inconvenience for your building or business, and we're here to help. We can handle all kinds of plumbing jobs, including broken pipes, clogged drains, line jetting, installing water heaters, and full repipes. Need a camera inspection or a smoke test? Yes, Duck Duck Rooter does that too. Plus, our lift station services include inspections, monitoring, cleaning, and repairs. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After a storm passes, the assessment of the aftermath begins. Sometimes damage to the roof is obvious, like leaks or missing shingles, broken or damaged gutters, or tree debris. But storm damage is not always as clearly present. Universal Roofing Contracting is here to help and will come assess your roof for any hidden damage. Call Universal Roof to schedule your free roof inspection at 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
I'm Taylor Rose with our Remedy Staffing Westside office off of Normandy Boulevard. We are helping great people find great jobs. Remedy has helped some of the best employers in Jacksonville find talented job seekers like you for over 25 years. Our current job openings range from entry-level distribution center pickers to equipment operators. Apply today at remedygoodjobs.com. Don't wait. Apply at remedygoodjobs.com now.
It's back, the biggest jewelry sale of the year. Buy one, get one at Beard's Diamonds.
No other jewelry store in North Florida can match it. Buy any band and get the other one free.
The whole month of April.
Beard's Diamonds will beat any competitor's price.
At the St. John's Town Center.
Best Bet is number one. That's right. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker. The fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war. Just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. More at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Weekends were made for sports, and I'll tell you my take on this weekend's best options. Pick it here. Watch for Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook. Weekend with Dan is brought to you by Stone Core. We do outdoors better.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Hacker here with another unbelievable stat. I'm now down 45 pounds in just 6 weeks with Awaken 180 weight loss. 45 pounds, and I basically just started the program. I wasn't always this walking advertisement for feeling good. Let's just say the struggle was real. Tried everything. Programs, diets, and yes, even those injections. Sure, I lost a few pounds, but the results were so slow. Top that with with not feeling myself, coupled with needing shots for the rest of my life? No, thank you. It's not just the 45-pound number. Even though, yeah, that's unbelievable. It's about life, man. I took little Hack to SeaWorld last week. Walked around all day, no sweat, no being tired. 2 months ago, I would have skipped out on that whole experience. If it's time for you to drop some weight like it was for me, do what I did. Go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. It's Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
You know, they say April showers bring May flowers, but about Nye, they're bringing more than just blooms this April. Hicken here, gang. It's time to spring into action and refresh your vision for the brighter days ahead. Don't let cloudy vision rain on your parade. From dry eyes and allergies causing irritation to cataracts blurring your vision, Bowden Eye can help protect what's important to you. If you're experiencing problems with your vision, call or visit BowdenEye.com to schedule your consultation. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Time now for the Voice of the Day.
Now hear this.
Presented by South State Bank. Welcome to Banking Forward.
Glad you're with us, Frank Frangie, along with Hays Carlyon. What a pleasure to bring in our buddy Bob Herrick here, who's done so much writing about these the golf world of late. Bob, how are you, man? Good to talk to you.
Very good, Frank. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You know, this is a far cry from the days when I was covering the Gators and you had the Knowles, and back in the day, right? That was a time or two, a generation ago, wasn't it?
Yes, it sure was. It sure was. That was a different time, and I'm glad we're still here talking. Thank you.
I am too, Bob. Hey, I want to talk. I want to talk about Tiger, the practice round he had. It looks like he's going to try and play. But before I get to that, I want you to talk about the latest book, Drive: The Lasting Legacy of Tiger. Obviously, has to do with the win back in 19. I can't believe it's been 5 years since he won. Golly, time does fly. But tell me a little bit about the book. What inspired the book, and what will people see in it?
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of amazing. It's been 5 years already. But the victory itself is sort of what inspired the book. I mean, at the time, in the aftermath, and even after a little bit of time went by, I just sort of felt that was his greatest win. 15 majors, 82 PGA Tour wins. He actually won another tournament after the Masters that year for his 82nd win. But that one to me was just, Tiger wasn't Tiger anymore. He wasn't the guy who everybody feared and who was on top of the game. He was, frankly, he was just another player. One that wasn't feared. He was 43 years old. Most of the guys he was playing against were 10 years younger. They didn't have to go through the issues he did with the back and all of the pain, suffering, and a spinal fusion surgery, and I wanted to dive into that. And as I did, I started to recognize that, look, his whole career has been this. Tiger's got great skills still today. We saw them today. It was pretty amazing, like how good he was out there today hitting iron shots. And he had an amazing work ethic. But the skill and the talent wasn't going to get it all. Plenty of guys have squandered those things. He had this inner drive, sort of this resiliency that pushed him through, and that's what the book is. It's a lot of examples of that. Obviously, the Masters win was a big one, but there's others, like he had 142 straight cuts. He won the U.S. Open in 2008, basically on one leg. He's come back from this car crash. Look, he's not come back to the level of a champion golfer, but the fact that he's even come back and played and made cuts in some of the biggest tournaments in the world is sort of a testament to his willpower. And so that's sort of a capsule of the book. It's all these examples throughout his long career of these sort of great feats.
Hey, Bob. Yeah, I can't wait to read it. This is Hays Carlyon, and the book is out. The book is available now, correct?
It is, correct.
That's awesome. Give us a little bit more detail. Obviously, Will Zalatoris you wrote about, raved about Tiger. What were players saying, and what were your observations?
Well, he basically said, look, he hit a lot of great iron shots, and he still, a couple times he hit it by me, and Zalatoris is long. He hits it far. So, he was joking about getting the needle, and that doesn't surprise me. I saw Tiger in the Bahamas in December. I went to the only tournament he's played this year at Riviera. Tiger had no problem getting the ball out there. He has no problem hitting really good iron shots. But the issue is getting the ball. He hits a 300-yard drive, but then he's got to get to it. Yeah. And you add that up over 18 holes, and especially on a hilly course like this, and with his lower right leg issues and also a bad back, this is precarious for him. It's just never quite. He's never quite sure like what he's going to have, and being able to prepare and recover is a challenge. So, I think we're going to find and hear stories that he looks pretty good in practice. But, let's wait and see when he gets to the tournament and he has to do it for 4 days in a row. That's proven to be difficult for him. I'm not saying he can't. It's just a shame that he's not been able to prepare more for this because it's just a big ask.
Bob Herrig with us, Sports Illustrated golf writer. You're listening to him on the All-Pro Roofing phone line. Bob's got a new book out, Drive, The Lasting Legacy of Tiger, that talks all about the injuries and a whole lot more. You're going to want to pick that up. Let's get to some other stuff about this tournament. Live guys and tour guys are together. And finally, and John Rahm made a comment recently, Bob, about he thinks Live should play 72 holes. Both Rory on the tour side and some of the Live guys seem to be panicking a little bit, that they're losing viewers because the merge hasn't happened yet. What's your view of all of that? Will the merge happen? Is it falling apart as much as some suggest?
I don't know where it is, to be honest with you. I mean, I thought they were going to have it done by now. And then the tour went out and got investment from, a private equity company called Strategic Sports Group, and it's a lot of money. I mean, they're pumping $1.5 billion into this PGA Tour Enterprises with the promise to double it. And, the financial part of this is probably secured. I mean, the tour might not need any more money. But the reason why the whole public investment fund and Live Golf aspect lingers is because if you don't do a deal with them, well, then you risk them continuing to possibly poach your players. And when you are not together, okay, pretty obvious you're apart. And we have a situation that we're in right now where the top players are not playing together other than the majors. And some of the top players are going to fall out of the majors because they're not able to earn world ranking points. Well, a fair argument has been that's the choice they made. True. It is a choice they made. That's a risk they took. But the other side of it is that stubbornness is going to deny golf fans having John Rahm play against Rory McIlroy more than just 4 times a year. And I think there is a sense that something needs to get done. I don't think it's happening anytime soon, but I think something needs to get done because otherwise the game's fractured. And I mean, if you look back in sports history, it's been pretty tough for rival leagues to make it. Like in a sport as popular as pro football even, the USFL did not last. Even now, there's a spring football league, but it's viewed as complementary. It's not viewed as a rival. Like NFL players aren't going to be going to play in that. Those guys are hoping to play in the NFL. Where what we have in golf is different. I mean, the guy who won the Masters and the PGA Championship last year played for Live Golf. And the guy who won the British Open in 2022, who won the Players Championship that year also at Sawgrass, is also plays for Live Golf. Cam Smith. Mm-hmm. Well, what if they pick off somebody else after this year? It just doesn't bode well. And yet, I'd also argue though that Live needs the PGA Tour. They need its credibility. if they want their teams, which they are billing as franchises that can be sold, if they want that to happen, it'll be a lot easier if they have TV windows and the cooperation of PGA Tour sponsors and all those things. So, look, it's easy for me to rattle off all that stuff that makes it, sound like it makes sense. But the people have to put it together, have a monumental task on their hands, and I am first to admit that it is not easy.
Bob Herrick joining us on the All Pro Roofing Hotline. Bob, it seems like a lot of experts view the Masters as simply if Scotty Scheffler putts average, he wins running away. Is that how you see this?
Well, I think there's something to be said for that, but I mean, that's also expecting that he's going to hit the ball as well as he's been hitting it, and that doesn't always happen. I mean, look, he's had an unbelievable 1 year plus run of ball striking, and if he'd have putted better last year, he would have won more. Just golf is a weird game that way. As great as Tiger was for all those years, and he had similar odds to Scheffler. 4-1 odds, I think, is what Scheffler is. 5-1. I mean, it's crazy to think that somebody win a golf tournament and the payoff would be that small. Because he's going to have to beat 50 some odd guys. But it's true. He's that good right now, and I can understand why people, think that he's such a favorite to win. But I would just be surprised if there wasn't a few others that make it pretty hard on him.
Bob, give me an idea. Give me a handful of guys off the top of your head. Obviously, Rahm and Rory, we know those guys. Wyndham Clark played great here. But is this the time Xander Schauffele rears his head? Is this the time the light goes on for Victor Hovland? Give me 2 or 3 guys that you're thinking about here.
Yeah, I like Hovland. I like Hovland because, look, there hasn't been a lot of great play out of the star players this year.
Right.
And that, and he's not played great. He won the FedEx Cup last year, and he was great in the Ryder Cup, and then he's cooled off. He's not done much this year, but he's played great in the majors the last 2 years. That's why I kind of like him. He played well here last year. I got to believe some of these guys are going to step up at some point. I think Rory's another one. I think a guy like Patrick Cantlay is due. He's played well here before. He's not done much lately, and we expect more of him. Matt Fitzpatrick, who won the U.S. Open 2 years ago. It's just kind of been a strange year that way. Like the top 10 players, other than Scheffler and Wyndham Clark, who won the U.S. Open last year. Other than them, that nobody's really doing much. And then it's hard to tell with the live guys. Rahm hasn't won. Koepka had a bad weekend at Doral. Joaquin Niemann's won twice on live. Great young player. Bryson's been pretty good, Bryson DeChambeau, but it's hard to know because they haven't played against all these guys. So I think that's another reason why there's heightened interest in the first major. Everybody comes together.
Bob, any idea what the conditions might be for starting Thursday and going through the tournament? And do you have a feel on early, late, early, if there's going to be an advantage?
The late, early thing is hard to tell right now, but there is rain in the forecast for Thursday. The weather's terrific right now, and it would be a shame if it rained Thursday because they're going to get the course firm and fast because it's warm and it's not been raining, so they can get the course nice and hard and firm, which is what they like. Right now, I'm looking 70% chance of rain on Thursday. Listen, there's no place I've ever been, I think, where the weather forecasts have been more off than here over the years. Right. So I'm going to hope that that's not the case because there's no rain in the forecast after that. And even if there is, they have those sub-air systems to get the moisture out of the turf, so they can get it back pretty good by the weekend, which will be great. The last 2 years have been very soft, rainy and just not as good of a tournament when the conditions aren't firm. You want the ball running. You want it so that it's hard to hold greens. It means the best shots are rewarded. But you're right. I mean, that split and when guys play can really matter. If it's pouring on Thursday morning, then lets up and is soft. Those guys who play in the afternoon have a huge advantage. But what if it gets windy in the afternoon after it rains? I mean, then they are at a disadvantage. So all that stuff plays into, sort of the vagaries of a major.
Bob, final thing here. Bob Herrig, the golf writer for Sports Illustrated. All right, let's go back to what we started with. What are your expectations for Tiger? He's going to try and play. You made a great point. It's not hitting the ball, it's getting to the ball, and you're so right. And Tiger has said that. He said that during this whole journey, a lot of which I know will be talked about in your book. What are your expectations? Does he make the cut? Can he get through this? What do you think?
I think he's going to be very motivated to make the cut. He'd set a Masters record for 24 in a row. Another little thing to add to his resume. He shares the record with Gary Player and Fred Couples, 23 straight Masters cuts. But, Tiger wants more than that. He's not content with making a cut. But I think our expectations need to be tempered. Given the lack of competition, given the lack of fitness, it's just a lot to ask. So can he make the cut? Yes, absolutely. I think then you kind of look from there. If Tiger's somehow within 6 of the lead after Friday, I think the place will be going crazy, going bonkers. But I just think there's a long way between here and there. Listen, having some warm weather would be a blessing for Tiger. Cold weather is not his friend. He needs it to be warm. That's good for his back. Obviously, soft conditions are not good for the ankle because it's harder to walk. He could use a dry, warm golf tournament.
The book is Drive, The Lasting Legacy of Tiger Woods, the latest offering from our pal Bob Herrig, who does such a great job covering golf for Sports Illustrated. Bob, great catching up with you, man. Have fun up there in Augusta. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
Okay, Bob Herrig talking golf does a terrific job. I can remember way back in the day I was telling him he covered the Knolls. Smitter was on the Knolls. Chris and Bianchi and me and Dooley were all covering the Gators, and all the college guys kind of hung out. So he does a great job.
Yeah.
Rick Stroud was on the Gators back then when we were doing it, so it was a fun time. Those are
it's a lot of talent.
Back in the days, those are the times. But Bob does a terrific job. Realistically, the books are really good. He also wrote Tiger and Phil, the story about the incredible rivalry between them. They wrote that book about 5-6 years ago. It's really good. And I have not read the recent one, Drive, The Lasting Legacy of Tiger Woods, but you can get it on Amazon or wherever you get books. And so we do appreciate that. All right, we're almost out of time. We've got some stuff to do. I got to give a T-shirt away.
You do.
Somebody wanted to shout. Man, Darren was so good when he said, let's just give him Billy Napier. But I'm going to give it to Glenn, our first caller, because he had both Billy D and Rick Pitino. Glenn, congratulations. Darren, silver medal and a good one, a shiny silver medal. Well done. Mike, also, high marks for Mike, who recommended Don DeVoe, which is also
Is Don DeVoe the worst coach you've ever been around?
Yes.
In any sport?
Yeah, worse, miserable, angry.
Yeah.
He for people that don't know, he had been the Tennessee coach. Bill Arnsparger brought him in to clean up the Florida thing in 1990. He just nobody liked. He couldn't get along with Stacey Poole, who's one of the nicest kids of all time. Couldn't get along with Livingston Chapman. It was just awful. Just awful. It didn't last very long. So Don DeVoe, Mike says. But Glenn's our winner. Glenn's our first caller, and he mentioned both Pitino and Ricky. Billy D made a lot of good points. So you are the shout of the day. Well done. Well, this show zipped along today, didn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, it really did. Tonight, you like Purdue.
I like Purdue. I'll say Purdue wins 77-76.
All right, there you go. JJ and I both like UConn. I'm rooting for Purdue because I don't want to see UConn do it again. But I sure respect UConn. I like their program. That's a program. It's not about one and dones. They'll have some, but it's not about one and dones. It's not exclusive portal guys. They're doing it pretty. They're about doing it right. They're a school that doesn't have a lot of other stuff. They're no good in football. Baseball is actually good last year, but they're usually no good in baseball. Women's basketball is fantastic. They're good in some Olympic sports, but UConn basketball is a pretty good deal. You know, I bumped into a guy today. I was out shopping somewhere, and I bumped into a guy. I was at Budget Office Interiors. I was just getting some office stuff, and one of the guys came up and said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, I think UConn's going to win." Well, this guy, he turned out he's from there, and he's from Stores, and he said it's a big deal, like a big deal. I mean, this is Tuscaloosa, man, in basketball season.
I mean, they've won. This would be 6 national titles since 1999.
Think about that. This would be their
with
sixth,
3 different head coaches.
That would be.
I mean, it's like Miami football.
That would be their
in the 80s. I mean, it's incredible.
Their 6th title since '99 in 25 years. 6 titles in 25 years. That's hard to do, man. In the age of parity, when there's 300-plus teams, it's hard to do in football, too. 6 titles in 25 years. I mean, that's Alabama. You're right. That's Alabama, Miami like.
With 3 different head coaches. You could kind of understand it if it was the same coach and the same culture and the same program. But to win it with – it was Calhoun, Ollie, and now Hurley, correct?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
That's remarkable.
Yeah, and
particularly since Ollie really –
And that was the upset one.
Yeah.
That was the one in 14 when that's when
they won as like the 9, right?
Yeah, Wisconsin was there. Kentucky had the twins, the Harrison twins. Florida had won the 30 games in a row, and that one they just shocked the world. They got hot. They were almost like last year's Texas Rangers in baseball.
Right.
You get hot at the right time, and it looked like NC State was headed for that this year. You get hot at the right time, and you mow down everybody because of when you're playing them. But UConn is a good program, Hays. They do it the right way. I mean, when you are looked at as one of the best teams, when you are the number 1 overall seed, and then you still run through it. And again, I think what's the line? 6 you said?
6.5.
I'd lay the points tonight.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, they've been incredible, but again, it's just surprising to me that Purdue is perceived as such a big underdog when they're 34-4 and have won their games in this tournament by an average of 19.6 points.
Yeah, and that's, by the way, that them being such a big underdog is more a comment about UConn than it is Purdue. Now, Purdue's failed in some tournaments, but I think people recognize Purdue's pretty good. I can tell you, I picked Tennessee to beat Purdue and go to the Final Four, so I was way off. But I picked UConn to win the tournament because I think that's the one you hate to go. It's no fun doing chalk in these bracket things, but I thought they were so good. At some point, if you think one team's that much better than all the rest of the teams, you pick them to
win.
win.
And if UConn does win this game tonight by like 12 or more, I mean, it becomes historically, it'll be fascinating to crunch the numbers on where this team stands compared to the dominant teams that we've seen in the past.
So if you're Danny Hurley and you don't, I assume Kentucky has called him, has called or will call him. I can't imagine if you're Kentucky.
How do you not?
Yeah, because you can call anybody.
Right.
I mean, anybody can take you seriously. You're Kentucky. I can't imagine that Kentucky either hasn't or maybe they haven't yet because he's got a game to play, but by tomorrow, I can't imagine that Kentucky wouldn't reach out to
Kentucky
Danny
doesn't care about his game. I guarantee if they want him, I bet you they reached out to him the second they knew about John Calipari talking to Arkansas.
I know you're busy and stuff, but we're Kentucky.
But we're more important than your national title game.
So given they reach out, if you're Danny Hurley, because I think he turns it down, but you have to have a lot of clout to turn down Kentucky, don't you?
You do.
I mean, again, by the way, Rich Rodriguez turned down Alabama, which is why they hired Saban. You knew that, right?
Yeah.
They talked to Saban. Saban said he wasn't leaving the Miami Dolphins. They offered Rich Rodriguez the job when he was at West freaking Virginia.
Yeah.
And Rich said, "No, I'm good.
Yeah,
and then they went and hired Saban.
It's we kind of talked about this with Kalen DeBoer. It's not going to be to this level because Nick Saban is far greater than John Calipari, as great as Calipari is in his respective sport. But it's honestly, if you're Hurley, you have to look at this and say, do I want to go to a place where, yes, it's Kentucky, but any game I lose is a catastrophe?
That's right. Because that is the case. Any game you lose will be. All right, folks, that'll do it for our program. Thanks for being part of it. But don't go anywhere. Rick Ballew's going into the night right now. He'll talk hoops. He'll talk golf and a whole lot more with you.